Aloha, you're listening to the Rolling Vets podcast by veterans for veterans and civilians alike. I am Lucas Monster, co-host. I'm flanked by Marine veteran peer Aaron Pata and our very special guest, Sergeant of Marines, Jacob Garcia. We would like to extend an invitation to you, the listener, to journey inside of our realm to discover what it means to be a rolling vet. And this is where Chris would go, and we are back. He's not back. He's going to be missing here today, but he would appreciate a large shout out before we get started to Vet Labs. Go to vetlabs.com for all your military grade supplements. Use Vet Labs to help yourself become tough, smart, and disciplined. I wonder if Stevie J's ever going to come back for that. I wonder if he's ever going to come after Chris for that ass. He's like, yo, motherfucker, like that shit is mine.
I'd probably say something along the lines of like, oh, I'm glad I motivated this young devil dog. I'm glad I had a lasting impact on him.
I was thinking the same thing where I was like, he'd probably just eat it up as like, I'm such a good fucking commander. Like, that's, all this bullshit. Well, Sergeant of Marines, Jacob Garcia, welcome to the Rolling Vets podcast.
Thank you. Excited to be here. It's definitely something that you and I have talked about a little bit, in the past.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff having you here. You are still in the United States Marine Corps, which is very exciting stuff. What do you have to get in that look?
Yeah. I think every friend group has that one person that just decides like, hey, like still need to stick around, still got some things I want to do.
Yeah. I think we have a few, I think, in our friend group. And it's always, and that's another thing, it's always the ones you least expect it. I totally expected it. It's there are some you're like, I totally expect someone to stay in for at least past the first enlistment. But there are some of them.
I was convinced
some people,
Garcia was getting out, man. Like by the time of that second Marine Corps ball, dude, I was like, nah, he's out of here, man.
He's a fucking motivator, dude.
By the time of the second Marine Corps ball, I was like, nah, Garcia's out of here. He's done.
No, dude, there was getting back from that second deployment, I was heavily debating it. I was like, man, am I gonna stay? Am I gonna get out? Then everything that had happened. And I was like, fuck this, dude. I'm done. I'm gonna go home. Gonna go, just blaze my fucking trail, do my thing.
Yeah.
So I believe that, I had kind of wanted a lot of things to go on my, my Marine Corps career. So one of them was I wanted to go to advanced infantry school and graduate.
Yeah.
And ended up going, failing. So then in order to send me back, I needed more time left on my contract. So I said, fuck it, I'll do a 2-year extension here in Hawaii. Get a little extra money, stay here in Hawaii. Who the fuck doesn't want to stay?
Smart. Extensions are always a smart thing to do.
Because
don't commit to a full reenlistment if you don't know what you're gonna do. Just fucking I think what's the least you can extend is what, 6 months?
6 months.
I think it is 6 months. But I decided to do the 2. I was like, fuck it, if I'm gonna extend, I might as well extend 2. So I ended up going back to advanced school passing. And then I was just like, well, I mean, that's one of my goals. But then, that's the thing with people that want to be successful. Goals always find a way to appear.
Yeah. Are you saying you're a successful man?
I like to think of myself as successful.
Okay. Yeah.
At least successful. What success looks like to me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll get into that. Continue.
1,000%. So. For a second there, I heavily debated it, and then heavily debated it again before I deployed for the 3rd time. And then I got promoted, came back, and I was just like, what's another enlistment gonna do? My wife was pissed because when she met me, I was disgruntled corporal, getting ready to get the fuck out. I was like, after this deployment, I'm fucking done. And then deployment, I just like, hey babe, I'm re-enlisting, and she was like, excuse me.
Sat you down real quick.
Did she have any I guess requirements or anything to ask of you in that moment? Because it's a very tall task that a lot of people don't really understand. I think a lot of people, civilians for that matter, have an idea of it's a very traditional kind of relationship style when you're in the military, that whoever is the one in the service gets to like call the shots and be like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking reenlist and we're moving here, and everyone just has to pick up and like do and follow along and shit. But that's not the case. It's a very common point of friction in relationships. So how did you and your wife navigate that?
So with that, what I would like to say is, I think that's more of a past thing, where couples, back then, you like probably like our parents or our grandparents were like, well, I'm just gonna stay in the military because that's all I know, and and then the wife, the wife was like, all right, cool, for sure, yeah, I'll let you do your thing, my wife's not like that,
Yeah.
and I love her for it, because she said, look, maybe now isn't, she goes, is now the right time? That's all she asked me. And I said, well, it was the height of COVID. I was like, well, it's the height of COVID. Seeing a few of my buddies getting out, like struggling to get jobs. And these were dudes that were extremely qualified for just about anything. Absolutely struggling. And I was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Think I'm gonna, stick around for a little bit. So I did. And then she said, the next time this happens, we'll most likely have a kid. So, that's going to be a big conversation. And we talk about it here and there, I'm like, I'll be at 10 years at the end of this contract, sweetheart,
Damn, that's a whole ass decade, dude. That's a whole ass decade.
I'm like,
you're halfway there.
I'm like, that's 10 more years.
Yeah.
Well, you can always round up if you get lucky. You can always round up at like 17 and do the rest in like reserve or whatever, right?
So we, you could do that, but I think what I've been, basically just my argument to her is, well, look, I don't want to just not, I don't want to not finish. I've only been here too long. I'd be a fool to not finish. So what I found out is if you do the majority of your time in the, the active side of the military, when you retire out of the reserves, you still get a really good retirement out of it. So I was like, how about, after this, I do one more contract in active, and then I'll finish out my time in the reserves. Or that last contract, I finish out on I&I duty, because there's a reserve station in the Bay Area.
Yeah. Oh, you moved back to the Bay?
Yeah, man, my wife and I, we want our kids to grow up near our family. Family's a really big thing for me, so that's a big thing for both of us.
Well, that's another reason for me to come up and visit.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm in San Diego right now. I'm a little on the opposite side.
Aaron, I'm going to ask you this, and then judging based on how you answer, I will either be very angry or not as angry.
Okay.
Where were you last month, a year ago?
Last month, a year ago?
Where were you living?
Still in San Diego.
You bastard, because I was there in recruiting. Recruiting school.
No shit. You didn't hit me up. I was out here.
I was aboard MCRD San Diego.
Dude, I think that's right around the time I was actually up at MCRD too. Well, no, I was up near it's in range.
Damn.
Wow.
Small world.
Very small.
Small core.
I've been here the whole time, man. I've been here the whole time.
Yeah. So Aaron, speaking of which, I'll talk to you offline. I have some dates. I'll fucking I'll talk to you too, fucking Jake.
All right.
I'm trying to travel
next month.
Yeah, fucking my semester ends in like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I have a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
So definitely gonna try to roll around a little bit.
My birthday's next month. My dad's flying in.
Okay.
And my half brother from England that I never met. I don't know if I told you the story, but like I was in Hawaii and I get a random call on my phone, like right after we wake up and do our morning formation bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, is this Aaron? I was like, yeah, like who is this? Thinking it's another scam caller. I like to mess with him sometimes. And it turns out like he's like, yeah, I'm your half brother in England. I hired a private investigator to find your number.
Is he a lawyer? Is this the lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, I think you did tell me about this. Yeah.
Well,
you're finally gonna meet him?
Yeah.
That's fucking exciting stuff. Yeah. Shit. Shit, yeah, look at that. Look at us. Look at all of us. Exciting stuff happening. You know?
Like,
Crazy
Fucking
stuff.
what's that Paul Rudd meme? Who would have thought?
yeah, who would have thought? Not me. Not me. But yeah, so let's speaking of which, that's a good transition point. Who would have thought? So you were actually you joined the Marine Corps a little bit later than I guess traditional people, right? How old were you when you enlisted?
So originally my process started when I was 19.
Okay.
But I, being a rebellious young man, got into some trouble with the law. I needed a waiver to get into the Marine Corps.
Oh, nice. All the best Marines need waivers to get in the Marine Corps.
Hey, at least it wasn't an ASVAB waiver, right?
That's what he's gonna tell us anyway.
Yeah.
I won't lie to you. I will not lie to you. I didn't get a 50. I didn't even get in the 40s. All right. I almost got that. I got a 38 solid.
Solid.
And that is all I needed to become an infantryman.
Yeah, and that was actually going to be one of my later questions was like how does one go from infantry to recruiting when you're illiterate? Like how does why would the Marine Corps want those who can't even speak comprehensible sentences to welcome others
because they want us to recruit the ones that also can't speak
to speak the same
they
language.
Speak the same. They're on the same wavelength.
Simple
Okay.
interaction.
Yeah.
I just walk up to them and I go, and they nod, and then we go into the office and they sign papers.
So what about you signing those papers? What was that like?
So again, originally started in 2014. And I had a really great recruiter. I still talk to him all the time. If he ever watches this, shout out Paul. Fucking love you, man.
Paul
Kim. And he had put me through the ringer just to make sure that, like, hey, I want to make sure that you're not ever gonna fuck up again. And then he put me through this ringer, and then like a year and a half goes by. And I'm like, fuck, man, this is probably never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I need to start looking for my backup, because before then I'm just washing dishes and making fucking sandwiches at our fucking local grocery store.
Yeah.
And one day he calls me in the office and he goes, hey man, I just need you to come by the office. And I'm like, fuck, got denied. My dad's gonna laugh at me. My mom's gonna be an idiot. Like,
that was one of your biggest fears, that your dad's gonna laugh at you.
So at the time, man, my dad was a huge influence on everything that I did. We can kind of get a little bit later. And he calls me in the office and he goes, so hey man, your waiver came back. You needed 4 signatures. And I'm like, fuck, I got like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I got 6.
Nice.
So he was like, it's fucking happening for you now, man. Like, you're gonna, because I had went up to MEPS previous to that, didn't swear and just went through the whole, ASVAB, or just figuring out
Medical checkup thing.
Yeah, all the meds. Yeah,
did all that shit, right? So he goes, you're gonna go up next week and swear in. And I was just like, hell yeah, can't wait. Did it. And I was set to leave in January 2017. So by this time, I'm 21 years old, getting ready to go. And one day he calls me late, about like 2 weeks into July. So mid-July, he calls me and he goes, hey man, I need you to come into the office real quick. And I was like, why? He goes, you still want to do infantry, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, well, come on in. So come into the office. And turns out some high school kid didn't graduate high school. So he was like, hey man,
so still a high school kid.
Nice.
Yeah. So he goes, well, hey man, what's his nuts is a fucking idiot. He didn't graduate high school. You want to go infantry? He had an infantry contract. Here's your infantry contract. So I signed the statement of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I go, all right, yeah. So sweet, still January 17th, right? And he goes, no man, you leave in 2 weeks.
Surprise.
I was like, oh. And I was supposed to go into work. So I just walked into work, walked into my boss, and I was just like, I quit today.
Nice.
He was like, are you serious? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, all right, we'll come by tomorrow, pick up your check.
Fucking first day for the rest of your life, huh?
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, August 6th, went down to MEPS for the last time.
August 6th?
Yeah, because we were in Delta.
Yeah, we were in Delta together. So Garcia and I, we were in the same battalion.
Yeah,
We went to the same ITB. You were Bravo, right? In
Aaron,
ITB.
Aaron, I can't tell you how many times we've gone over this.
So I always thought you were like 1 week ahead of me. I always thought you were in India in boot
Oh,
camp.
no, man. So me,
What was your
74.
okay, I was 75. Okay, okay.
So it was me,
What they call those platoons? Fucking. You had your was the follow? Yeah, follow.
yeah, we were follow series.
Yeah, follow series.
Yeah, no.
I
So
remember that.
August 7th, August 7th was the day I was supposed to show up to the depot, but that was also like the same day that Delta Airlines had like over 1,000 cancels. So I showed up a day late to boot camp, and all the drones were like, "You want me late to boot camp?" Huh? And I was like, and
I remember hearing about that.
enough, man. Jaeger was with me because we both shipped from San Jose to boot camp. We were in the same.
Oh,
He and I were together from August 7th all the way till we, got back. So
damn. That's why you and him were so close. Okay.
yeah,
So
he was actually
joined.
he grew up about an hour away from where I grew up. Him and my wife actually like grew up in the same town.
no
Yeah,
shit.
that was crazy.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
We found that out. Yeah.
Damn. I wonder what would have happened if I stayed in Northern California for my life. Like I was born in Hayward.
Okay.
So like it
probably would
makes
have fucking
me
left with them.
I know. Like if you think about it.
You would have been the third dickhead.
Yeah. The three
Yeah.
Musketeers.
Yeah, dude. The Three Musketeers more with the fucking three retards. Oh, also,
Ed, and Eddie.
just so you guys know, I have been looking at all of your guys' ASVAB scores since I became a recruiter.
Okay.
Not impressed.
Not impressed.
Not
I wasn't
impressed?
impressed either. I wasn't impressed either.
Damn.
I got a 61, and
About that?
I am 100% sure about that. Yeah.
I got an 88.
I got a 61, and I know for a fact that I skipped all the math questions intentionally. I had to my recruiters, I had to pass a piss test, and they told me I couldn't eat anything that morning because that's
one of those.
Yeah, so they're like, don't eat fucking breakfast. Whatever you do, just don't eat breakfast. Just go in and piss. And it's just like my first time there. I had to go take the ASVAB as well. So I'm fucking starved. You're waking up at like 3 a.m. in the hotel. And well, at least I was. I was in my MEPS was in Fort Dix, New Jersey. So like I enlisted out of Philly, fucking left out of MEPS in New Jersey. And so we had to fucking drive. Your recruiter drives you all the way out there. You're staying at the hotel. You had to wake up balls early, eat the fucking breakfast there. I couldn't. And then they take you to the base, and you go through all the fucking, screening bullshit and all that stuff. Any paperwork you need to do, like you could do the paperwork there, and then like time is going by and time is going by, hours and hours and hours. I haven't eaten anything since the night before, and I'm taking the ASVAB, and I'm like, I just don't even fucking care anymore. I'm like, I just don't care. My stomach's grumbling and growling, and I'm just like, I can't even focus on these math questions. I was like, I'm just gonna like basically skip these. If I can't guess something, I'm just gonna skip it, and I just guessed or skipped, and then when I heard back what my score was, I was like, oh. I was like, does that like rule me out of anything? And my recruiter was like, if you don't want to do like the nuclear stuff or the CBRN stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do either one of those things. He's like, then you're good. He's like, you can do anything you want.
Yeah. See, mine was a different experience. Like I had just gotten done with like a full day of school, right? I had taken like 3 tests that day. And I walk outside and I see my recruiter like sitting there, like outside of his car. He's like, hey man, we need to go to the office and sign some paperwork. I was like, all right, cool. Hop in his car. We go drive.
He was just waiting for you, like outside of school.
Like I was kidnapped by my recruiter. I love the guy. But
like an 80s love movie, like sitting on his fucking Pontiac Firebird.
The sketchiest part was we ended up driving past the recruiting office. We passed the recruiting office. I'm just like, is the recruiting office over there? He's like, yeah. I'm actually taking somewhere else. So we're gonna go take this thing called the ASVAB. It's a test. I was like, another fucking test? He's like, yeah, but you'll pass it. I got no worries. drops me off, come back, and like I'm coming out, and he's like, "Oh, what'd you get? What'd you get?" And I was like, "Oh, I got an 88." And like, "Is that good? Is that bad?" He's like, "Dude, like, why do you want to go infantry?" And I was like, "I don't know. I figure I'm gonna be sitting behind a desk the rest of my life. Like, I want to do the complete opposite." He's like, "That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Get in the car."
Stupidest, smartest thing I ever heard.
Oh,
But shit,
man.
they fucking now. Do they? I know the Coast Guard because Carolyn was allowed to take hers at home.
Fuck no.
No, not in the Marine Corps.
What?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, the
Absolutely not.
fucking Coast
What?
Guard, you can take it
Oh,
at home, dude. I
That's
thought
an
that was the most wild fucking shit.
that's
I was
why
like,
they're not
everyone must be a
DOD.
fucking genius in the Coast Guard.
Well, that's
so,
why they're not DOD, dude. They're Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
so how the whole shebang looks now is like, um, from now, like now how it goes, like if me and Aaron were to meet right now, I'd be like,
Oh yeah, yeah. And why you go over this? Compare it and contrast like when you did it, like because we didn't really go into details in our experience, just the MEPS
man.
part. So like, try
So
your best to like compare to your experience, like when
so
you
when I
enlisted to how it is now.
was first going through, man, for us it was easy. You just shut the fuck up. You didn't say anything. No one ever found out anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so when I was going through, my recruiter asked me, he was like, "Hey man, so I'm just gonna ask you some basic screening questions to see if you qualify for the Marine Corps." And I was like, "Cool, sounds great." Right. And by this time, we've already sat down, I already introduced ourselves. And I was like, "Yeah, my name's Jacob." And he was, "So what?" He goes, "So your name's Jacob. What's your last name?" I was like, "Garcia." He was like, "All right."
He's like
What,
million of you in the Marine Corps.
yeah. All right. And he was just like, "So, what's what's a good address to reach you at?" So I told him my mom's address. And then he starts going through. He goes, "Did you graduate high school?" I was like, "Yep. I graduated in 2013 from Will C. Wood." He's like, "Have you gone to college or anything like that?" I was like, "Yeah, I just finished my first semester at American River. It's a junior college in Sacramento." And he goes, "So you you want to go back? Because if you do, we have to put you in contact with our recruit officer, right, that recruits officers."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Fuck that. No, man, I dropped out hard. Like, I'm like, it's October, bro. I should have been at school by now, right?"
Yeah, I should be in class right now.
Should really be in my psychology class, learning absolutely nothing. So we're sitting there talking. He's asking me like medical screening questions. And he goes, "So have you ever had any implants in your body, like pin screws, rods, or plates?" This is all from time of birth until now. I'm like, "No." He's like, "All right, sweet." So we go through the whole thing, clean, right? Awesome, got it. Nowadays, dude. So even then, right? So he sends me up as a simple pre-screen. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just fucking clean, good to go. Right? They get me up there at MEPS. This is as far as the screening process used to go at MEPS. Hey, they plot, that blank paper. "So what's with this knee surgery you got back in
Yep.
2010?
Yep.
And I was just like, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I think you have the wrong Jacob Garcia. There has to be another one here because I've never had a surgery at all."
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just sitting there like, "I don't know, never had one." And he's just like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty recent, so I would definitely know." Plus, I was running cross country and track at that time. Like,
Yeah.
never missed a day.
Yeah.
And so it was easy, right? You just shut the fuck up. You made it through,
Mm.
right? Unless you got peer pressured by that whole "you'll be held accountable."
Ah,
But
dude, so many people felt for
We
that.
drug test
So
up to
many.
45 days.
bro, that's my favorite thing to brief some of these guys on, right? It's just like, hey, even the guys that are super clean, right? Like they'll like, "Oh, did I do this? I think I did," right? Because it's that whole thread of the UCMJ.
Yeah.
I tell them it's the Uniform Military Code of Justice. Who do you think that only applies to? And they
The
go,
fucking military.
"Exactly, right." But they're just like, "But I can get charged by it, right?" And I go, "Are you in the military?" And they're like, "No." And I go, "Right." Nowadays. So back in 2022, I think it was early 2022, this thing came out. It's called M-Roads.
Yeah.
So that was before I came out on recruiting duty. I had no idea what the fuck it is. Still don't know what the fuck it is. Well, before I come out on recruiting duty, a new thing comes out, a third party that can pull medical records from the time of birth until now.
Yep.
It's called Genesis.
Yep. I heard about this.
That sounds like HIPAA.
And
Unless you have to sign a release clause upon.
You do.
Dude.
You do.
Damn, those fucking feds.
So now how the the whole process of going through the screening process across the board from the military, you have to sign all these waivers, like you got to sign like the pre-screen package, right, to go to MEPS. Well, once you get on deck at MEPS, they immediately run your social through Genesis, right, while you're already getting seen by the doctor. So you could have already made it through the whole process and been found qualified by the doctor, but Genesis pops something. Now you're sitting DQ'd.
So yeah, okay. So what are some of what would be a flag and what would be a red flag in Genesis?
ADHD medicine.
Really? So something just as simple as ADHD medicine. And what if you? I mean, would it matter obviously if you claimed it, if you like put it on there, or is that just an automatically just the no tolerance on ADHD
No
medicine?
tolerance.
No. So there's obviously like time, but so let's say again, Pata was a new guy that I'm talking to, stuff like that, and he goes, so I asked him, have you ever taken any medication from the time of birth until now? Well, yeah, back in 2010 I was prescribed medicine for ADHD, and I took it for 2 years, but I've been off it for 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, sweet. I can submit him as a complex pre-screen. All I have to do is just go grab all his medical documents and submit them with him.
Okay.
So basically shows when he started it, all his pharmacy records, and then when he stopped, and all the doctor's notes on him, stuff like that.
You as a recruiter don't have access to Genesis. No. So you wouldn't even know unless
you just get blindsided.
You just get blindsided every time.
So that's a thing, right? Like you have to get creative with how you ask these kids these questions.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe I don't just continue like asking 5 times in a row right then and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not like that fucking that character from Austin Powers where damn it, 3 times. I have to tell the right. So it's like throughout the whole conversation, we'll be sitting there talking, I give them the benefit tags and stuff like that. And I go, you might throw it in there. So, just in case, like if your kid has ADHD and you have to put them on medicine, like, oh yeah, I know exactly how expensive that is. My mom used to put me on it. You said you didn't take anything, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can find ways to like get it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they might forget too. You know what I mean? Like if you're asking a kid point blank while they're interested in like the military, like you might not remember what happened like, 7 years ago.
Yeah. A lot of it is they don't want to and I love this expression, the back end, when we refer to like the federal government, like the back end. What they're trying to avoid is paying out in the back end to like service connected disabilities from pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, so the VA was making a huge stink about that. Like, hey, like we have to say that this is service connected because they claimed it as soon as they came in, but in reality, it was pre-existing before they like.
But MEPS missed it. Yeah,
one solid case. Like I hate to fucking throw this guy's name out there, but example, just fake it through MEPS, fake it through boot camp. As soon as he hits the fleet, boom, I'm broken. I'm this, I'm that. Like,
living it up though.
There's another guy. I like him a lot.
Oh
He's
yeah,
in our boot camp platoon.
Like,
bro,
you're rolling your eyes.
So a lot of the interviews that I do, it's with kids that are in high school still, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a college in my town. So if I want to sit down with a college kid, they have to talk to the officer recruiter first, right?
Yeah.
Every single time I send someone to the officer recruiter, she takes them, she runs with them, right? Cool, good for you. So I talk to all these high school kids. So most of them are 17, 18, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of if they're 18 or 17, I always have their parents come with me. So while I'm asking them the medical questions, if they're just like, no, I just look at their parents.
I just go, they'll give it away. Yeah.
Right. And the mom's like, no, you had an inhaler for like 4 years when you were little. And I'm just like, childhood asthma. Okay, not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just need all the records on it. That's all.
Yeah.
Right. It's only a problem if you say no, and then you got me look like a fucking idiot.
So that's
holding everything up.
That's a big thing, because that's when investigations get launched, right? Because then because the first thing the kid's gonna do is be like, whoa, I told my recruiter. Oh, fuck, you didn't.
And then it's on you, man. Balls in your court.
Now I'm getting fucking investigated. They're going through my government phone, going through my government laptop, and I'm just like, I really didn't know, bro.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened just because I like to establish like honest exchange of information with these kids, right?
Mm.
Like the moment we sit down, I'm not like, yeah, I'm Sergeant Garcia. You're gonna tell me everything that you want to know. I'm just like, what's up, dude, homie? How you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
How many people have you gotten in so far?
To date, I think I'm sitting at 15.
15 souls. That's 15
Dang.
souls.
And how long have you been recruiting?
I will be
Just under a year, right?
coming up on a year in June.
Okay, so that means you met your
Nice.
quota,
Uh,
right?
Not necessarily.
I mean, with COVID and all this other bullshit, I'm sure they're a little more lenient.
So I've
Probably
been
not.
I usually put in about like I'm supposed to put in 2 people a month. I usually do 1.
Yeah.
Um,
But you are in Manhattan, Kansas.
So
So
Manhattan, Kansas, right? So this is why like the whole Genesis thing I brought up.
Mm.
Some of these small towns don't report to Genesis.
What do you mean?
So some of these small towns are like really, really small hospitals, right?
yeah.
Like all my towns it's called Clay Center, Kansas. It has a whole hospital there, but every person that I've sent there who I've claimed, I was like, hey, like they had this, this, and this. When we submit them up as a complex, they run them through Genesis, and they're just like, we can't find anything on them. And I go, well, hey man, I have the medical records, obviously, so here you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So even though that place doesn't report to Genesis, and I could easily just scum someone by, I still do the right things.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously.
Just because, like you don't want anything coming back on that kid.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And especially out here in these small communities, they talk a lot. Like kid comes back from boot camp, oh, the Marine Corps recruiter fucked me. He did this, and that, and I got called for fraudulent enlistment. Fuck them. Now your name is tainted throughout the entire community.
Yeah, no one's
Yeah.
gonna trust you again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, man, I like to try and do things the right way.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I would fucking hope so.
Surprisingly enough, like me being an infantryman coming out here on recruiting duty, like, you think that the one thing I would sell the most is the infantry.
Mm.
Marine Corps, I don't have to sell infantry, right? Everyone comes to the Marine Corps and they're just like, I want to do infantry. And I'm like, yeah, fucking right. You and
Yeah.
everyone else.
Yeah.
And then there's people, so I've never just pushed infantry towards anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like even if they got like a 32 on the ASVAB, I'm not like, hey man, you just need to go infantry, right? I'm like, you could do motor T, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell them about I tell them about everything that they're qualified for.
Yeah.
But I had a kid who got an 88, kind of like you, Pato.
Oh shit.
Came in and he goes, yeah, no, I just want to do infantry. I want to, what'd you do? And I was like, oh, I was in the infantry. And he goes, hell yeah, brother, I want to do that.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, right. And I was like, okay, man, check this out. So I'm a regular infantryman. I went to the fleet. Like, I explained to them how my experience. But I tell them about security forces a lot.
Ooh, yeah.
That's how you get them.
So, and I tell them, I go, hey, look, security forces, you're still an infantryman. but you do like this, you do one of these 3 jobs for 3 years, but it does this for the rest of your life. Right. Like, if you go PRP or fast, you still get the top secret clearance, which is like $50,000 in the outside world.
Yeah.
Right. No one else gets that. You go to the you go presidential, you get the Yankee white clearance, which is like one of the highest clearances you can get in the country.
Yeah, you know who killed JFK with that shit, huh?
Pretty much. Right? Like because 10 times out of 10, you're gonna be sitting in the same room that the president's talking to the cabinet or whoever the fuck it is that he wants to talk to you, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be in the same room as him. So
you're in there with Trump when he's like, "Oh, these fucking shithole countries," and you're like, "Raw."
Yeah, draw.
Imagine, dude.
Secretary of State's just like.
All right, who the fuck is this guy?
Or turns around, just starts nodding, like yes, every time. I want this response every time. Dude.
So so I kind of explained to them what these clearances will do for them in the background, right? Like one of my best friends, I came up in the delayed entry program with. He was at he worked presidential duty. He was at 0311, right? He went the whole security pipeline, did that, right? He now works for the Secret Service because of all the ties that he made while he was working there.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell him, I go, this is what this could do for you.
Yeah.
You got an 88. I don't want you to just be a regular compounder.
Mm-hmm.
Go be a good one at least.
Yeah. Yep.
So, but then you got guys that come in and like, oh, I want to fly. I want to fly. I want to do aviation. And I'm just like, all right, bro, let's see what you get. And they get like a 98 on the ASVAB. And you're like, fuck yeah. On aviation, right?
Go get a Maverick.
And you're gonna be enlisted air crew, all this, right? And then you like see what like all their MEPS profile came back on, and you see color vision failed, dude. Like, oh, damn it, you can't do shit with
depth perception fail.
So like if they fail like the color vision, it's just like the majority of the jobs in the Marine Corps, you need fucking color vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just like your job. It's like
even though they tell you everybody's green, they say
there you go.
Everything's all shades of green. you
like,
can't be colorblind.
Yeah, it's like everyone's green. Why is everyone gray?
It's just another color green, man. Yeah. Gray is green. Confirmed.
Your job goes from like 300 to like 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there aren't that many jobs in the Marine Corps to begin with. Like
they're all just different variants of.
Yeah. What's that?
We have 300 jobs.
300.
Well,
and
300, right? Wow. Like how many of those are different sections, like motor T or different parts? You know what I mean?
So like in a sense, like do they do like these certain jobs correlate with each other? Yes, right. But like we have over 300 different MOSs.
Right. Yes.
Combat camera, right? Like it's the contract in itself has like 4 different MOSs in it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's not actually 300, right? It's probably more like 100 to 150.
No, it's pretty close to 300, Potter.
No. What I'm saying is like if there's 4 different jobs in combat camera, right? Like
yeah, so it's MOSs, right? Like that's what we tell them. Like you can follow for any of these 300 MOSs that we have.
Right.
So, I know I learned a lot, especially, all we knew was, locate, close, and destroy the enemy by fire maneuver, right? Even Moss to
a certain extent, I was doing the same shit with a fucking radio on my back.
So like that's all I knew, right? And I was like, hell yeah, this is the only side of the Marine Corps I need to fucking know. This, as far as I'm concerned, this is the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Right, and then I went on recruiting duty. I've been out here, and I'm just like, it was so much more than the Marine Corps than just fucking shoot shit.
Yeah. Oh man.
Right? Like, because
does it make you miss the good old days?
You have no idea. And so out here on recruiting duty, man, like you wear a suit every day.
Yeah.
If I'm not in my blues coat, I'm in my Deltas or like my my fucking Charlies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when I'm out and about with my wife, I'm wearing a polo that says Marine Corps Recruiter on it, or like Marine Corps Recruiter sweater or something.
Yeah.
Right. Branded. People always see me as a recruiter, right? Yeah, moto.
Right? That's good. No, like go for it, dude.
And when I'm at the gym, I wear the pain is weakness leaving the body shirt every time.
Hell yeah, brother.
I wear my
because it is pain is weakness leaving the body.
No, pain is telling you you're a fucking idiot, but that's subjective.
But the thing is, I live in an army town. Fort Riley's like 30 minutes down the road, right? So like everyone in this town, they're like a son of a soldier or a daughter of a soldier or some shit. And so when I wear my Marine Corps stuff, to the gym, I wear my India Company sweater, my India Company shirts, my PIC sweaters. I wear all that shit to the gym.
JWTC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I wear all of it. And I was walking out of the gym, and this morbidly obese lady was walking into the gym.
Good for
And I was
her.
like,
Good for
yeah.
her. Can we get a round of applause? Can we get a round of applause? Better in
Right.
your life. Better in
And
your life.
in my head, I'm like, I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, just whatever. Like, I'm going about my day.
Yeah.
She stops me. She goes, "Hey," and I just go, "Hi. Like, can I help you?" And she goes, "I think you're lost because I'm wearing my Marine Corps sweater."
Yeah.
And I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "This is an army town. This town is owned by my husband." Right?
Oh.
Owned by my husband.
Whoa.
Army, right? And I just go, "Oh, well, hey, you know what they say, right? The Marine Corps is an invasion force." So your day's numbers kept going.
Nice.
Since then I've seen that lady a lot because she's one of the teachers at one of my schools. So
Oh shit.
no, dude, she loves it. She loves having me in her class.
Really?
Yeah, I just bring her shit all the time.
Fucking
her
rep. You gotta rep the
He
set.
bought her off. He bought her off.
You know, I would bring her. I just remember walking there one day and I was just like, "What's so? You know, you always have me in here. I never give you anything, but you always give me your students. So, what can I do for you?" And she was like, "Well, I do like Coke and stuff like that." And I was just like, "All right."
Got her
that.
coke.
You should have been like, I could have seen that.
She'll be skinny in no time, right?
Yeah.
So, you know,
Give her the diet kind, you know? Should be all right.
yes. So every time I walk into the school, I bring her, you know, bring her a 24 pack of Coca-Cola, and here you go.
Jesus.
So,
All right. So we talked about your high score or one of the high scores. What's the lowest score you've seen so far?
Yeah.
so,
just-
You know
there's
this.
so there's not passing.
yeah. They don't give you like a number when it's not passing. They just say not passing. Like,
So
didn't pass.
so 31 and up, that's all we accept.
Mhm.
And this is kind of brings me into another thing. It's called the Alpha to Bravo split.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're a 50 and up, you're an alpha, right? Which only looks good.
Big dog. Big dog shit right here. I'm a fucking alpha. Ooh, ooh.
So it only looks good for your recruiter if he's like trying to become like meritorious, like for any rank, or if he's trying to become an 8412, which is
You're welcome. You're welcome, Allville. You're welcome.
or if you're trying to become, you know, like an 8412, a career recruiter.
Mm.
I've only had 2 Bravos.
Okay. Nice. It's a good track record.
They were Bravos because they got a 48.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you give them like the practice ASVAB before you send them into MEPS?
I would
Yeah,
hope so.
Okay,
Why
so
the
what
fuck
was-
would you not?
What was the?
Do we not do dry
like-
runs, but do we before we do live runs?
They just fucking threw me into the fucking crucible, dude.
So when they initially come in for the appointment, you know, we rescreen them again in the office, right?
Okay.
And then we say, you know, like, "Hey man, you know, since you're here, I want to, you know, I want to put you on this mental aptitude. It'll show you what you could score on the ASVAB."
Mhm.
So it isn't the ASVAB, it's a third of the ASVAB. And they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, sure, sir." So you fucking so it's called the APT, right? You put them on it. It literally takes 10 minutes. If they get like a 27 or higher, I'll work with them
Mhm.
because
If not, send them somewhere else.
because on the because then after that, before they go up to MEPS, we give them the PICAT.
Okay.
So usually on the PICAT, we'll see like a score of 10 or higher than what they got on the APT. And then before they take the PICAT, which is like 2.5 hours, we make them take another APT just to see like, hey man, let's get your creative juices going again, right?
Right.
They get again like 27 up to like, you know, the 90s, whatever the fuck they want to get. Like awesome, hell yeah, sweet. Get them on the PICAT. 2.5 hours later, they're done. They you know, they pass. They get, you know, 31 or higher. You're like, cool, man.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at MEPS, you're not going to take the ASVAB. You're going to take a PICAT verification test. So it's going to be 30 questions of the same 30 questions from the test you just took.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's so the Coast Guard still does that. So what the Coast Guard does is like you take the at-home test, the at-home ASVAB, but when you actually go into MEPS, you take it's only 10 questions though. If it's or is it 30 questions? I think it's 30 questions, and if you get a certain amount wrong, you have to retake. It just automatically starts.
It kicks you to full ASVAB.
Yeah, it kicks you into the full ASVAB again. So that, I mean, I guess that's one way to deter, I guess, people from like actually like cheating on it, because either way you have to go get it verified at the end of the day.
We have them take the test. We have them take the PICAT test in the office.
Oh
So
shit!
this is all night before they go up to MEPS.
Oh, so they don't have to they don't have to take it there.
No, so they come to the office, they take their PICAT. They also do a piss test, right? And then we get their package ready for MEPS, right? We get everything done. Hey man, tomorrow you're gonna meet me here office at 7, because then the shuttle's gonna pick you up and take you to MEPS. Right, when you get to MEPS, you're gonna walk in and say, "Hey, I'm here to take a PICAT verification test." They do it, they pass, sweet. They go back to the hotel. Next day, they do the physical.
Ah, okay.
So we were talking to another recruiter on here. I think, did we have him on here, Barrett?
Yep, Alan Barrett.
Yeah. Didn't he tell us like the lowest score he had seen so far was like a 7?
I don't fucking remember, but it's just he was in West Virginia, so it's entirely possible.
Oh man.
So on the APT, the lowest score I've seen is a 4.
Jeez.
You don't get that for putting your name on it?
No, so the best part about it was I had saw so I have like screens outside of my office, like cameras. You can see if anyone's looking at any of like things. I can run out there and grab real quick, like, hey, come on, right? This kid was looking at some of the pamphlets. So I walked out there. I was like, hey man, you interested in looking for the military? And I didn't even notice it, but I had put his brother in the Marine Corps.
Oh,
nice.
Shit.
I had shipped his brother out to boot camp, and his brother quit at boot camp, so he came home.
What?
That looks bad on you, right? Like does that reflect poorly on you as a recruiter?
So it just shows that I had a discharge, but at that point I did my job, right? Like I got him in the Marine Corps, got him to boot camp.
Yeah, yeah. And then at that point it's like,
right, like
okay.
Well, his brother at this point, his brother was at boot camp still, right? He hadn't dropped yet. So the kid comes by and he goes, yeah, I want to join the military, but I think the Marines need me more than I need them. And I'm sitting there like, all right, motherfucker, like now you got me intrigued.
Yeah.
Those are some big words, man.
And I was like, all right, man, well, you're talking a lot of shit. So like, how about you come back it up? How about you come show me why, like, I need you more than you need me.
Yeah.
Right. And he was just like, nah. And I was like, you're right, man. You probably don't even qualify anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Play to his ego.
Yeah.
Walked him back to my office and I was like, all right, man. So talking to him and he goes, yeah, I got my GED. And I was like, okay.
Okay. So you're a fucking idiot.
That's a start.
I'm like, all right.
Moron. Check.
I was like, probably not going to get a good score. I was like, hey, man, I'm going to put you on this APT test. See what you can do. And he was like, yeah, all right, sounds good. Put him on. He like 10 minutes later, he goes, hey man, I'm done. I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah, bro. Let's see what you think you get, man? He was like, oh, bro, easily a 90. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And it's just a verified 4. And I'm just like, shooter, you have hit the berm, right? I just look at him and I go, man, bro. And he goes, yeah, it's really good, huh? I told you, man, you guys need me more than I need you. And I was just like, actually, bro, you got a 4. Like, the only thing you got right was the information I put in. Was your
you
name.
have to try to get everything wrong.
Right. And I was just like, so, hey, man, I think moving forward, you should kind of look into this, and this to study.
Yeah.
He was like,
never saw him again.
He was like, well, I'm just going to join the Air Force. I was like,
oh,
good luck with that. Good luck with that.
And I was just like, man, hey, I wish you the best of luck, right?
Yeah.
The Air Force recruiter comes to my office the next day and he goes, do you send that motherfucker over to my office? And I was like, you got on the APT? He was like, he told me that he got like a 40 with you. I go, no, he got a 4. So I've seen it all, right? Like,
yeah. I bet that was one hell of a conversation.
Well, like, Dude, some of the shit that the kids will say to you out here on recruiting duty, you're just like,
Yeah.
there's no way that just came out of your mouth.
Yeah. I
Like,
believe it. I believe it because of shit I had to tell my recruiter.
well, no, so it's not necessarily the kids that want to join, it's the kids that like you're just like, hey man, like so perfect example, one kid, he has no idea what the fuck he's doing after high school. Absolutely no plan. He's like, yeah, I guess just be a lifeguard at the pool over summer and figure it out after that, brother. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, man. I mean, you ever thought about looking into the military, man? Maybe I can help you develop a plan that doesn't even necessarily need the Marine Corps. Like maybe I just hear your plan and I identify some things and I help you make it better.
Yeah.
He's like, so I don't even have to join? I was like, no. I'm still gonna get fucking paid.
Yeah.
He goes, wait, so you don't get paid by the people you put in? I was like, bro, if I got paid by the people I put in, I'd have 14 fucking dollars.
Yeah.
I get fucking paid regardless, bro. Right?
Yeah.
So, and he just goes, all right. So I basically see he's qualified, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to set up the appointment with him. And I go, so hey man, how about we sit down and talk? What do you got going on tomorrow? And he goes, honestly, man, I think you're a joke. So go fuck yourself. And walks off, right? Keep in mind, this is in a high school, and I'm just like,
Yes, look at me in this fucking clown suit. I am the joke.
no. So I'm just sitting
This kid is right.
So I'm just sitting there.
Reevaluating his life.
No, I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, don't yell at him, don't yell at him, don't yell at him, don't yell at him, don't yell at him. Because you guys know me, right? Like you guys say something stupid to me. I'm like, hold on, motherfucker, right?
Fucking demon
Yeah.
time.
Stand by.
So I would targets. Right? So I'm sitting there. I'm just like,
That just fucking happened.
I'm just like, I can't yell at him. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
And I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? So I call my boss and I tell him everything that happens, and he just starts laughing. He goes, yeah, man, he'll probably be in your office in a month. Well, like a week later, I'm at the school doing the pull-up bar challenge.
Yeah.
And he comes up and he goes, so what do I get if I do 20? And in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, you about to get hands for free. I forgot I brought this beef today, right? Like, oh, well, if you do 20, you get a shirt. If you don't do this, and that, you get that. And he just goes, well, what happens if I just do more than you? And I go, okay, go ahead and do your pull-ups. He goes, you're not going to go first? I go, I'll tell you what, man. However many you do, I'll do 5 more.
Okay.
And he goes, all right, for sure. So he gets up there, he starts, doing them. I'm like, 1, not count any of those because they don't count, right? Just being a dick about it. Right. And then so he actually eventually does like 15 good ones.
Okay.
Like, all right, you did 15. So I get up there, I get to 15, and I just go, right. So I crank out 5 more, do 20.
Yeah.
Right.
Solid. Like a real infantryman should.
20. No, dude, 20. They were sloppy. It was hurting. Right. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like it was hurting.
You kipping or what?
No, I wasn't kipping or anything like that, but by number 20, I was definitely like, right.
But you can't show them that. You can't show.
No.
Yeah.
Well, then I was like, fuck. The only way I'm gonna make this look better is if I do 5 more.
Yeah.
I did 25 in front of all these kids, and I just go and I get off the bar, and he just goes, "Whatever, you still suck." And I was just like, then just in front of his whole entire friend group, and I was just like, well, I mean, if I suck so bad, dude, I guess you're just not gonna come out to PT on Saturday and show me how bad I am. That you're just so much better than me at everything.
Okay.
I got him out to PT, got him to sit in the office, take the test, 5. And I was like,
Oh no!
uh,
Oh no!
and oh man, I was just like, all right, well, obviously I'm not the clown.
Oh no!
Solid
But
pentad, solid 5.
Bro, this kid's probably like crying himself to sleep to this day.
I doubt it. I doubt it. It's
He's
like
too stupid to cry himself to sleep.
Dude.
It's just you'll hear some shit out here, right? I was giving a class talk, talking to them about what a career
Little
like
fucking TED talk. You giving TED talks over there?
no. So like it's part of milestones for recruiters, right? Like you have
Okay.
so I have 26 schools. 4 of them are priority schools. The rest of them are non-workers, meaning like you might write a contract out of them, but then again, it's just like if you don't, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're also the schools that they're just like, we're not really. If you go do a class talk there, cool, but just don't make it a priority, right? Because I have
Yeah.
4. I have 4 priority schools.
And what makes it a priority versus not?
The propensity to enlist out of it.
And
So
that's just based off of like past history, like how many
Yeah.
people they've
They
gotten.
just keep milking it until it runs dry, man.
So it goes off of student body, and then like how many kids are there, like how many senior male, senior females are there, their propensity to enlist, if they take the ASVAB every year, all that shit.
So like basically if you've gotten a foothold in that school by having someone else go through that's talked to his buddies or whatever.
So I have 4 priority schools, and I have contracts out of all of them. Right? Like I fucking, and one of them
Cleaned house. That's what you call a full sweep, ladies and gentlemen.
One of them I absolutely fucking kill it there. I have 3 seniors out of that one.
Oh shit.
And one of them was a state champion wrestler.
Okay. And that one, 60% of the time, he's 100% of the time successful.
So I was doing a class talk at one of my priority schools, and I was just talking to them about, hey, what 4 years in the military can do for your life, right? Like VA benefits, like
Hell yeah.
So like, like what it looks like to qualify, getting in, things that you could take advantage of, like tuition assistance while you're serving. And then, post 9/11 GI Bill after, the VA home loan, VA small business loan, all that shit, right? And I get to the end of my class talk and I go, so hey guys, today I talked to you about this, and that, and the other. Do I have any questions? Right. They go, yeah, you, right? And usually I always bring stickers too. So they ask a question, throw it on a sticker, right?
Nice.
Boom, plant the seed.
It's like throwing a dog a fucking bone. Like, here, good job. Here's a treat.
Like in the words of the great Dave Chappelle, as Rick James, enjoy yourself, bitch. All right. like that's almost what it's like. So her first question out the gate. I go, yes. What's your question? She goes, why does the Marine Corps have the highest rape?
Dude, I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
Highest rape, and I'm like, who are we raping?
Right, and immediately, so my eyes go wide, but immediately I think of a comeback, like, whoa, we're raping other countries because we kill everyone. That's why, like, war champs, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
But instead, I just
But you didn't say that.
Instead, I rephrased her question. I said, well, her question was, why does the Marine Corps have the highest report of sexual harassment? And to my answer to that is, the Marine Corps is the smallest branch, so our numbers are higher than others because we actually report our incidences and we actually take action and hold those people accountable.
Great answer.
Right. And usually what you're supposed to do is good question, next question, right? I just go, next question. The rest of the time I'm asking people for questions. She throws her hands up. Don't see her.
Ignored.
I'm not letting that girl ask me another fucking question. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it gets to a point where no one's starting to raise their hands, and she's the one raising her hands. Right? And I'm just like, fuck. I'm like, good question. Next question. Right?
Yeah.
And And you also can't necessarily just be like, yeah, what's your question? Actually, matter of fact, go take a knee, punch yourself in the face.
So do you come back around to her or no?
Yeah. So I just go, fuck. I go, okay, last question. I hope it's a good one. All right.
Rape. Tell me more.
What's it feel like?
No. And then she goes, why are there more Marines in the Army than in the Marine Corps? Good fucking
Take a
question.
knee. Go punch yourself.
Right? And I ask her, I go, Dad in the
You
Army?
did it.
Like, I'm like, is your dad in the Army? And she goes, yeah, my dad, retired from the Army after 22 years. I go, how do you know there's? I go, how do you know there's more Marines in the Army than there are in the Marine Corps? She goes, because my dad used to tell me there was the Marines would get out of the Marines and join the Army. And I go, well, that is true. And I guess the only reason I have for that is because it's a good retirement plan,
Yeah.
right? That joke goes way over her head. Everyone else gets it, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, they're Marines. They already had a hard 4 years. They want it easy, right?
Yeah.
The military has the same retirement across the board, right? And all I said was, "You're not scoring high on the ASVAB." Well, ladies and
You
gentlemen,
said that to her?
I got
Or
tired.
is it like a mental thing?
No, I said it. I should. No, sorry.
Dude, I feel like there's like a little voice in the back of Jacob's head that tells him like, hey, this is good to say, this is not good to say. And sometimes it's like, you know what? I can't stop this.
You shouldn't stop it.
Again, you guys know me. I'm usually on decent time. So like when these kids start talking reckless to me at schools while I'm doing pull-up challenges and stuff like that, I like subtly just shit talk the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
Right?
They deserve it.
I'm sure the teachers really appreciate that too. Like low key. Like, damn, I wish I could say that to them.
Teachers aren't around.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I get away with it.
Even better.
because then who are they gonna believe? Some kid that's usually like some snot-nosed asshole who's gonna sit there and be like, oh, he said this and that, or United States Marine Marine never lies, teacher steals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Rah.
So yeah, no, so like I usually try to shit on them.
Not like, just for our viewers, we're not, this is all like hypothetical. Yeah. Yeah, we don't
Sure.
actually condone doing this. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I don't make kids feel bad or anything.
No,
I
no.
just make them want to join the United States Marine Corps a lot.
Yeah,
a lot more. But yeah, it's definitely been interesting being out here. Trying to learn how to be the adult. You're just like, bro, like I was in the Marine Corps infantry for 5 years where none of us were adults.
Yeah, true.
Right? It's just like, what do you mean? It's like, I had some stories of some people that I could literally tell you where it's like we really needed an adult at that time.
A lot of times.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
Like, what do you mean? Like, there's this one time where my friend literally watched me puke all over our bathroom. So,
Yeah.
and we were both intoxicated.
Oh my god, what was it? Oh my god, was that VJ's? Was the name of the place? The pizza place that was down there. That was the funniest fucking thing, and I'll tell this fucking story. I love this story because it's just this. When I tell people like about the culture of the Marine Corps, I don't think they fully grasp, this the enormity of it, of like how crazy it is, I guess. And just I guess this story itself, I guess, puts in perspective. So, alcohol related incident happens in our unit. I don't even think it happened was it in our company?
No, it was like
No,
Kilo
it
or
was.
Lima.
It was my platoon.
Okay, so yeah, alcohol related incident within
When
the
was
company. This was This was like 2017. This was like our first year in the fleet.
Okay. Okay.
Before any big field op, I think.
Okay.
No, it was.
I was still
It was-
PFC.
No, we were both Lance Corporals.
No, I was a PFC, but I showed up to the Lance Corporal thing because I was picking up like the next week or whatever. Yeah.
So before any of the Bougainvilles or any of that.
Yeah, we still had a shit ton of PFC, so that should put it in perspective, like, because by the time we deploy, everyone should be fucking lances, right, for the most part,
Right.
but because we don't really get that many, we'll maybe get a boot drop like right before or something, but
Right.
yeah, so we had a shit ton of PFCs where like first sergeant broke up like a meeting time on a Saturday morning, was like balls early. It was like fucking the first
On the
meeting was,
bleachers?
yeah, on the bleachers. It was like 7 a.m.
Yeah.
The next one was 8 a.m. and then the last was like 9 a.m. or
I
something like
remember
that.
this. I remember
And
this.
and I remember it went PFCs, and then NC, or like Lance Corporals, and then NCOs was like the like order of things. And I didn't want to fucking wait. Like I didn't want to go to like the very fucking first one. I was like, I was about to pick up. I was like, I'm not a PFC anymore. I'm
That's
fucking
select, motherfucker.
exactly. Like, exactly. So I was like, fuck it. And I knew, so this thing was about the whole guardian angel policy that was enacted in the
Yeah, I had
battalion.
just picked
And
up. Okay.
yeah. So like whenever it was basically a liberty system in which, like, if you went out on liberty, we were back in garrison. So this is the most wildest thing. Like the fact that this was enacted when you're back in garrison, like not even deployed or anything. So you're back in garrison at home, like during the workup, which is fucking asinine. Nowhere close to being deployed. And yeah, so you enact this fucking policy in which, like, if you go, you have to go out in threes essentially, and one person has to be sober at all times. Like,
And
it doesn't matter where the fuck you're going off base. Like, whatever you do, you have to leave in fucking threes, and one person has to be like the designated guardian, quote unquote, like guardian angel or
so
something
it
like
was
that.
worse than that. It wasn't even leaving
That was
base.
when we
It
had the
was
logbook, remember?
Was that?
Because remember, that's when because I think Aaron, you and I remember this because we used to living in the barracks.
Yep. It wasn't leaving the base.
We had to use the logbook, and it
Yeah.
wasn't just leaving the base. It was anytime we left the barracks.
Barracks,
Left
yeah.
your barracks room, there had to be three of us. Like if you wanted to go down to the store or to the fucking gas station or to the fucking chow hall, you had to have two other Marines with you
It was
at all
fucking
times.
stupid.
And it had to be
Absolutely
of the
stupid.
same rank. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
Of the
another
same
thing.
rank.
That's another thing. You couldn't mingle. You couldn't fucking mingle. So yeah, and so we were having basically a big brief on that, and being talked at by First Sergeant Moon, who very biased on the alcohol thing in my opinion, because he didn't drink, so like he just believed that nobody should drink. So on my way there, I'm drinking. Like I'm drinking a screwdriver.
So I get a call. I get a call about 30 minutes before formation starts. It's 6:30. Our formation is at 7, and I'm like, "Fucking boss." I was like, "What's up, man?" He goes, "Hey, dude, can I come hang out in your room?" I'm like, "All right, yeah, for sure." None of my roommates were there because Hernandez was in his friend's room. He was with Jewel. Because
shout out to all the fucking people we named.
Well, Hernandez, I think he changed his name to Robertson, his last name to his original last name because he was adopted.
Okay.
Well, he was living out in town with his girlfriend. My other roommate, Guzman, like he was married, so I had no roommates as a Lance Corporal. I was living by myself, and all the fucking NCOs and sergeants, everyone fucking hated it, and they were like, "You fucking fool, dude!" And then they ended up putting Buckwald in my room, but he lived with fucking Pinkerton and shit. It was him and Godfrey, so it was the fucking speech impediment room. So Moss calls me. He goes, "Hey man, can I come up to your room?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, man. Go ahead, come on up." So he comes up, and he's like stumbling. I go, "Oh man, do you have a crazy night?" And he goes, "No, man, I'm drinking." And throws me a glass. And he goes, "Go ahead, take a bite." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, all right, sure, whatever. So I open it up and I just look in there. It's orange juice, and I go, "It's fucking orange juice, bro. Whatever." So I take it, and I'm like, "That's not orange juice." Oh. We drink, right? And now like I'm feeling it, he's for sure feeling it. And we get this brief. Well, Moss decides to sit front row, and like Jerry Moon goes, "Hey, what happened?" He like says something, and Moss raises his hand, stands up, and starts talking. I'm like, "What?" shut up, right?
What'd you say?
He just asked the question or whatever, and I was like, nobody was. So I stood up and I was answering the question, and I was speaking on what he was talking about. That's the best way to get away with it. Like people don't understand. It's like if you sit there and like, I'm not fucked up. I'm not fucked up. You look fucked up.
So an hour goes by. We get released, and he's like, "Hey, I brought my clothes here. Do you mind if I change here?" I'm like, "No, man. Go ahead, grab your stuff, change." So I'm changing, and then he just goes, "You want a day drink, bro? You just want to hang out and day drink all day?" And I was like, "All right, man. Sounds good to me." So
Because it's Saturday, like we're all off.
After the
right?
guardian angel breathe.
Yeah.
so we go to the 7-day. We grab a fifth of vodka, and we grab some orange juice. We make more screwballs, right? Driving down to his spot, we're drinking. I'm fucked up. I haven't eaten. I have nothing in my stomach. And he just goes, "Oh, fuck, we haven't eaten." So he talked to his, at the time, the girl he was with, and he goes, "Hey, babe, can you make us some eggs?" He puts fucking cracks 6 eggs in a fucking blender bottle, right? And she just goes, I forgot, but like, I think you and her started arguing, and she was like, "Well, I'm not fucking making breakfast now." So then you were just like, "Well, I cracked all these fucking eggs and they're going to go to waste." I'm still just sitting there like, I have nothing in my stomach, and that's protein. I will take it. I fucking down 6 eggs.
Fucking
raw.
disgusting, dude.
Oh, dude.
Raw. And, and we keep drinking. So I'm like, "Fuck it, we're going to go to the beach and still drink at the beach and all this
Oh
stuff."
yeah, we're.
I get in the water and it's just like everything is just not mixing well. It gets to a point where I'm just like, I gotta throw up. I don't want to throw up in front of everyone, so I'm gonna dive into the water. and I do, and it just spirals worse and worse after that.
Dude, he's just in the water, like floating like a dead body. Like,
He thinks he's diving. He's actually just face down in the water.
dude, it's so fucking funny.
It gets way worse. It gets way worse. So we go back. I'm like, hey, babe, take a shower. I'll be fine. So I take a shower and I feel fine in the shower. I'm like, hell yeah, bro, rally. This is a fucking rally. And if you would have asked Lucas, I was looking good after that shower. He was like, oh yeah. Well, again, I still haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
And now Lucas is making me another drink.
Yep.
We start drinking, and I'm just like, oh fuck, it's back. And like, I think it was like in Lucas's head, he was like, "We need to get pizza in this dude, so let's go get pizza."
Ooh, all right.
As we're walking down the stairs to go like out,
I almost forgot about that.
I'm like, right? and the girl he was with just goes, "You cannot throw up on these stairs." And I just go, "Well, you open the fucking door," right? So she opens the door, and I just, like the fucking Exorcist, right? Like on the right side, whoever or whatever was there, it got bombed.
It was like plants. They were like, it was like, it wasn't just like plants, they were like actual, like, so this is like you're in a plaza, so like the plants are like in this concrete little fucking stand that's about chest high, leading up to the steps, and you're fucking like, so anyone can see it, like it's just right there, and you just fucking just yacked right into the fucking plant, like.
So now I'm feeling all right, whatever. This is manageable. More drinking. Still more drinking. Well, we get to this fucking restaurant, and fucking Moss orders this fucking pizza with feta cheese, and I'm just like, "You've got this fucking fake cheese pizza."
That was not me that ordered that, mind you.
I take a bite, and I'm just like, I need to get to a fucking bathroom. I go, "Moss, we need to go to the bathroom." He just goes, "Well, go." And I go, "I can't fucking walk." So walk up to the men's bathroom, locked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, bro, no, this is going now. It's either going to happen here or it's going to happen somewhere else, but it's coming." And we open the women's bathroom. No one's in there. Dude, I tried so bad to get it into the toilet.
No, you fucking did not. This is how fucking bad this is how hard he tried. He literally didn't even lift up the seat or anything. He just looked at it, like slightly bent over and just just fucking just threw up all like on top of it,
Just
all over
projectile
the
vomiting.
seat, dude, all over the
Dude,
fucking
no.
seat. I don't think any of it
no.
actually like made inside the toilet bowl. I think it was just all like exterior decorating of this toilet.
and we finally get done. He goes, we need to get the fuck out of here. So he's texting his girl. And he's like, hey, we need to pay the bill. Get the fuck out of here now.
Yeah.
She goes, and she's just like, the bill's paid. We're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Opens the door. There's a woman standing outside the door, and he goes, "This is not what it looks like." And I go, "Yes, it is. It was out."
Yeah.
Oh
Dang.
no.
I felt so bad for that woman. I was like,
I never went back to that side of town again.
never showed my face. I don't think I ever went to that restaurant ever again, to be honest with you.
Feta
Like,
cheese gets you every time, man.
Yeah, it was the feta cheese.
Yeah, no, feta cheese or the copious amounts of alcohol I drank that day.
No, it could be that. Couldn't be
Yeah.
that.
Oh man.
But yeah, just the total, just like I don't know, the absurdity of the rules that were in place. The fact that you had to travel anywhere like with 3 people just to take a shit, just to do whatever. You know, the absurdity of like how acceptable it was for us to drink so early in the morning and just to drink all day. Like the absurdity of being so youthful and just having no disregard for anything else, I think is just epitomizes the Marine
Yeah, I mean,
Corps.
like think about it. Like everybody there was between the ages of 18 and 25 in the prime of their youth, and all of a sudden somebody's saying you can't do something. Well, what is that gonna fucking make you go do?
Oh
I
man,
mean,
it was.
so what you're saying is you went against that limbo rule, right? It was just you and Jacob here.
No. We had another person there. It was his girlfriend. We were totally straight.
Yeah, and I
was she logged
fucking,
out in the logbook?
I was probably 19, 20 at the time. I was like, yeah.
No. All of you were, including our seniors, because I had to buy some of them booze too. Because I turned 22 10 days after coming up to the fleet.
Yeah.
And I remember like once all our seniors found out, at least for 3rd platoon, they would just be like, "Hey Garcia, we need a beer run." I was like, "I need money."
Yeah.
So like they would give me money, and now I'm gonna tell them this. So hey guys, sorry, but I would buy you guys the cheapest shit and pocket the rest. I knew that's what you guys, because they would give me the tip.
Yeah.
I just buy them cheap beer. And
You did that shit with me too, motherfucker. Don't think I didn't know.
I didn't do that with you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No, because I took you to Posh.
Took me to Posh.
Posh was that store downtown, right? That was like not, they wouldn't even check IDs.
Yeah, it was that store downtown that they would sell fucking a bottle of Hennessy to a 5-year-old if he came in and had 40 bucks.
It was the Asian lady that I think her husband used to be a Marine or whatever.
You never took me there.
passed.
I would just take you to the mini mart and you'd pick up
the ABC stores.
No, the mini mart on base, the mini PX. Yeah, I would just take him there and run in and fucking grab me, and he would never give me change. And I was like, all right, it's the tax. You gotta pay the toll, man. Yeah, you gotta pay the tax, man.
No,
you want to get drunk?
I did it for you. I only did that to you once, and that was because you were asking me to get wine for a certain individual who I did not like. And then you were like, yeah, no, she wants this, so I didn't give her change back.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
that's probably that's how I remember it, is because she was like, did we get change back? And that's how I remember, because that's how she asked me for. Fuck her. Anyways,
good riddance. Good riddance.
But honestly, man, so like out here on recruiting duty, a lot of the kids, they ask for all the good stories.
You can't tell them those stories.
I can't tell them about the time, and I was, I had my head leaned over a fucking like a cement wall, and I got like, I'm throwing up in Thailand, and Moss is like sitting there holding my was massaging my head while I'm getting a back rub while like all this is happening, and I'm just
I
like,
tell that story all the time, dude. I tell that story because of like how that was my 21st birthday. First of all, that's how I spent my 21st
Dude,
birthday.
that day was lit.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
just like how she was still giving him a massage when he was like slumped over this concrete wall, like throwing up, and she was still like just doing the thing, just doing the thing. I was like, oh, cool. This is like the weirdest thing I've ever been a part of.
yeah. And like honestly, like because like you can't tell them these stories, right? You gotta tell them about like, oh man, well, you know, we were in J-Dub training and it was good training, and I was out there and it sucked, and I was out there with all my brothers though, right?
Yeah.
Building the bond, the brotherhood.
Fraternity for eternity, baby.
So, you know, there's you know that. But then also out here, man, you gotta find like creative ways to like get people in,
Mhm.
right? So in my town, obviously I live like I could hawk a loogie and spit and I would hit someone in like Kansas State University.
Yeah.
Right. It's in my town. So there's a bar town. And I can't tell how many times I'm just like, fuck, it's Friday night. I don't have any appointments for tomorrow. I could easily go to Aggieville and set 7 appointments for the next 4 days.
Mm.
Right. Hey man, if I drink this beer quicker than you, you gotta come talk to me about joining the Marine Corps.
Nice.
Right. Nowadays, that's probably not gonna happen because I don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like I don't have time. So it's just like I'm pretty sure like a beer would touch the back of my throat. I'd be like,
It'd be just wasted already.
so you gotta be super creative, especially in today's day and age where all the kids are they don't give a fuck, right?
Mm.
It's not like when we were coming up because we all remember 9/11, so we all had that sense of patriotism, right? We all had that sense of
Hashtag never forget. You know?
we had that sense of like something was done, so we have to do something, right? We all had that. We all felt that calling because we all saw TV
commercials. You saw the Marines on the news, fucking rocking it, and
we watched the Iraq invasion on TV like as a kid. Like,
and that shit was fucking motivating.
Yeah,
like
fucking shock and awe. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was awed.
Yeah, the whole line.
You got to think everyone that I talk to now, they were all born in 2004, 2005, 2006. They don't know what the fuck 9/11. They don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
they know we left the Taliban to fucking take back Iraq. They know we left.
All they know is like, oh, my uncle was in Iraq and Afghanistan. When he came back and he drank spicy water, he got angry all the time, right? that's all they fucking know. And they're just like, I don't want to fucking do that. But yet here they are, like these fucking their parents don't want parents. They put them on all this medication.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you've got their liberal teachers, their hard leftist teachers that are spreading their fucking dogma of like, hey, military bad.
Kansas.
Yeah, not in Kansas.
Oh, not in Kansas. Okay.
In Kansas, they still have like Trump won signs and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Over here, dude.
Some towns I drive through have like Confederate flags, and I'm just like, oh, yikes, right?
Yeah.
I got out in one of my towns to fill up gas, and I was like, hey, my name's Sergeant Garcia. I'm a local Marine Corps recruiter. You mind if I leave some of my business cards here? Maybe someone will see it. He's like, oh, Marines, hell yeah, man. And he goes, what's your last name was? And I go, Garcia. He goes, you be careful around here now, boy. And I was like, motherfucker, what? I'm in uniform.
Yeah.
Oh shit. You gotta rep your colors, man.
I'm like, bitch, I wish you'd try. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a fucking reason.
Yeah, give me a reason to use my 45. I don't carry it. Right.
Right.
I know, I really don't. But I really don't. You get the book thrown at you for that. You go to Leavenworth, which is right up the road.
Yeah, right up the street.
All right, go Leavenworth.
Nope, you're not going to work today.
Where it is, I'll be there in an hour. All right, I'll turn myself in.
You go there to recruit.
Can imagine those waivers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, man, it's like you have these like, you know, people trying to recruit the most heavily medicated demographic, right?
Yeah.
Also the kids that are instant gratification. Oh, well, I need money now. I want money now. I want this, and that. I want this, and that. What can you do for me? You know, I don't owe you shit. You owe me, right? It's just like,
yeah. I'm God's gift to the earth. I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Like, Yeah.
And everyone's going D1. Everyone.
Yep.
Everyone's going D1. I had a kid beginning of the year. He was like, yeah, I think the Marine Corps would be a cool backup. So we sat down and talked. And he was like, at the end of it, he was like, yeah, no, man, I don't want to join. I'm going D1. So had a hell of a season.
Yeah.
Hell of a season, right? I don't know if you know this or not, but where I'm from, we have Riley County, and that's where Jordy Nelson came from, right? The guy who played for the fucking Packers,
Yeah.
right? No one since him has done that. So in my head, I'm like, you're not a fucking Jordy Nelson, motherfucker. You ain't going.
Yeah.
You ain't going no place. Right? kid has a hell of a season.
Yeah.
Great season. The football team went undefeated, won state.
Okay.
Right? I'm sitting there, so I'm like, fuck, I might as well just never talk to this kid again. He's got offers. Right?
Yeah.
He has to have offers. He was a starting linebacker, averaged 4 or 5 tackles a game. Right? Awesome. I'm just like, hell yeah, dude, good for you. Talked to him yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but this past week. I was like, hey man, get ready to graduate. Where are you going to school? He was like, oh, I'm still up in the air. I still haven't heard from any colleges yet. I'm just like, brother, I don't know if you know that. I don't know if you know that, but you graduate in like 2 weeks.
You're not going nowhere.
What happened to D1? He goes, turned it down. And I was like, you didn't get any. You didn't get any. You didn't get a goddamn thing.
Nope. No, I didn't.
So I'm just like, so what, man? Like, you're not going to go to, well, obviously you're not going to D1. So, like, he was like, well, I'm just going to go to K-State, right? And be a walk-on football program there. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, you're still paying $11,000 a year, $44,000.
Yeah.
Why not join the reserves, get some of that paid off?
Yeah.
Right? Well, what can that do for me right now? I just told you, it's going to pay for school.
Yeah.
Do you want debt? He was like, honestly, what is debt when I'm going to go to when I'm going to get drafted? And I go, listen, man, I don't know if you know this not, but I've never heard of a person who walked on out of college, then went to the NFL draft. And I was like, but hey, man, good luck. I hope you prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
Got to end on a.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I don't think anyone off the top of my head that was a walk-on in college and then was actually in the NFL draft.
No, because it's never fucking happened. Right. And then, kids are just like, well, I'm just gonna. So the big thing out here is farming.
Big ag.
So, well, I'm just gonna take over my dad's farm. I'm like, all right, man. So how old is your dad? Oh, he's like 45. Okay. When's dad looking at retiring? About like 60. I go, so your dad's got like 15 more years of running that farm. Like, yeah. I'm like, so why not you sneak away for 4, go see the world a little bit, come back, have some leadership skills, have some management skills under your belt, have some world experience under your belt, then you take over the farm. So when you take over the farm, it doesn't fucking fail because you don't know shit.
Because your dad doesn't know shit because he wasn't a Marine.
No.
You took it that far or no? Was that too far?
That's a little too far there.
I don't want to do stuff like that, man. Like, you guys don't know shit because you're not Marines, bro. Right? Just like, like, hey, well, what have you done? Like, what kind of world experience do you have? None. What kind of experience do you have with leading people? None. I can give that to you within 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? We have leadership courses, Lance Corporal Seminar, Corporal's course, Sergeant School, all that shit. Stuff that eventually when we pick up, rockers, we all fucking forget.
Yeah. All fucking forget. There's a dark side.
Eventually I'll be there.
Yeah. Shit. Well, that's good fucking it's a good transition point. We're coming up on time here. Do we have any final thoughts here? Aaron, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, Garcia, thanks for coming aboard. Thanks for sharing your stories from everything that we missed since we've been out. Next time you're out in the area, please come through.
Fucking Delta.
We'll definitely get together and have a drink or two, even if it makes you puke.
Pata, you are the last person to talk to me about that because you never outdrank me. You might not.
I don't think we ever drank together, really, except for the ball.
No. So it was the ball, and then second deployment for Cochrane's birthday.
Oh,
I don't remember that. I mean, I remember Cochrane's
neither does
birthday.
Cochrane.
I know he was wasted.
Yeah, because he wasn't wasted. He was like peeing and like down.
That was a good night, dude. Is that the time we went to that Japanese restaurant with the fucking Jack and Coke mugs? Like they came out with those giant fucking
No.
pints?
So I know what you're talking about. No, that wasn't the same time, but
No.
this was a time where we went out and we just hit some of our local spots in Sintown. And I remember fucking Cochran looking at me and saying some stupid shit. He said something like,
"Love you, Corporal."
What did he say?
He kept saying, "I love you, Corporal."
No, it was before he got drunk. He said some shit to me about like not feeling it or like, oh, that he could hang or something like that. And I was like, all right. I was like, you said it. And well, we took him to Sid's. We took him to the underground. Shout out fucking Sid. And Sid treated him like you fucking baptized him and the whole nine.
Dude.
So that brings me up on something, man. So my last deployment there, COVID.
Yeah.
Sintown was dead.
Yeah.
What?
Like everything was shut down. The only thing towards the end of deployment, the only thing you do is get tattoos and go to the restaurants. So the underground was completely closed. I had messaged Sid, and I was like, "Hey man, like when's the bar gonna open? Like this is my last time going on deployment, stuff like that. Like I really want to fucking see you guys, before I leave."
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, bro, don't worry. When it's open, I'll let you know, and I'll have a dirty bitch waiting for you."
Like, nice, fucking
right.
I can Sid hooking it up all the time.
Well, he messages me and he goes, "Hey man, I'm opening the bar this weekend." And I was like, "Sid, bro, like I'm leaving tomorrow."
Aw.
Right. So my last deployment, bro, didn't even get to go back home.
Damn.
Didn't get to go home to the underground.
Yeah.
my last memory. So I'll part with this one. My last memory of the underground. It was the night after Cochrane's birthday. So it was like the weekend, before we left. I went out with Brandon Irvin and Justin Jones.
Shout out.
Shout out to like two of my best friends in the Marine Corps. Besides you guys.
I'm about to say, ouch. No.
I will say this: everyone I met in the Marine Corps, I have a deep love for.
Yes,
right,
100%.
But then there are certain people that like in the Marine Corps that I met that I'm just like no matter what the fuck it is, that they're always going to be in my life. Right. And I still talk to him on a regular day basis, except for when Lucas doesn't answer his phone. So we're sitting at the underground, we're drinking, and I'm like, man, we really gotta leave because I was like, this is it, this is my last deployment. I gotta leave my mark somewhere. And he goes, Sid, I want to put $1 somewhere here. And he goes, awesome. So he gives me a marker, pull out my dollar, write my little thing on it. Brandon writes his name on it. Justin writes his name on it. Sid writes his name on it.
Oh, nice.
And we're thinking of a place to put it. And Justin grabs it and puts it on the door handle, right? Like the door handle.
Yeah.
Bar. And Sid goes, how long has that fucking been there? Right? And we're like, it's part of the door. And he goes, I've owned this bar forever. I did not ever fucking once notice that thing. Like, what the fuck, Sid? It is just like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. But shout out the underground, man. I still have my shirt from there. Miss that place.
Yeah, I never got a fucking shirt. I have just memories, painful memories.
You're really part of the family then.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Shots.
I got pictures with Sid and shit all the time. Yeah, well,
maybe
Sid's
we'll
my boy.
A trip out there one of these days.
No, probably not. I probably won't, to be honest with you.
I'd like to go to Japan. We could stop by in Okinawa. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
mainland Japan.
I would like to do that.
Well, Well, you don't drink anymore.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore, but I'd stop in and say what's up. You know.
Say, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that, man. I was real proud of you for that.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Fucking. Now I'm just a stoner, and I'm just it's a better lifestyle for me.
Eventually, all roads lead back to it.
Yeah. Yep. You just need the fucking EAS, brother. You just need the EAS. Well, here we are. You stuck with us all the way to the end. We thank you for listening. We want our listeners to know that if your pack becomes too heavy, don't drop it. The Veterans Crisis Hotline can be reached at 1-800-273-8255 or simply dial 988 or call any of the VA lines and dial 7. If you'd like to enjoy more content, don't forget to subscribe, Semper Fi, and keep rolling on. Yeah.
I know that was good, guys. Sorry, I got off track a little here and there, but
Oh no,
dude,
fuck
it was
was
perfect.